Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into something pretty specific, but relevant to basically everyone, the future of keeping pests out of our homes.
Yeah, we're looking at this report, Strategic Foresight, the Future of U.S. Residential Pest Control, covering 2025 all the way to 2040.
Right, quite a long view. So you've shared this with us, clearly wanting to get a handle on what's coming. Our mission here is to pull out the really important stuff.
How things are actually going to change at home.
Exactly. And what it means for you listening, we'll hit on some key shifts. Technology is a big one, obviously. AI, smart homes.
Oh, yeah. And how we treat pests, more eco-friendly methods, biotech stuff.
Plus, how we think about a green demand, wanting things on demand.
And regulations, definitely. Stricter rules, climate change impacts.
And, of course, who's actually doing the pest control, the companies, the startups, how they're competing, and maybe even merging with other home services.
So lots to cover.
Let's dive in. Starting with the near term, say the next 5 years, 2025 to 2030. What's happening right now, or just about to?
Okay, yeah. This first chunk, 2025, 2030. It's really about laying the groundwork. We're seeing tech actually get deployed, not just talked about.
Like the Internet of Things, AI stuff we hear about all the time.
Exactly, but practically. Think connected traps, monitors all over your house, sending back real-time data.
Right.
And AI isn't just analyzing data, it's like integrated into smart cameras to spot pests.
So wait, your camera can tell you there's a mouse?
Yeah. Imagine getting an alert, because the AI saw a tiny movement under the cabinets, maybe before you even noticed anything yourself. That's a real change.
It is. It's proactive, not just reactive.
Yeah.
And it ties into the whole smart home thing, right?
Totally. These sensors won't just be standalone. They'll link up with your existing smart home ecosystem.
So how would that work?
Well, maybe deterrent devices sync with your smart lights. They could flash patterns or use frequencies pests hate.
Oh, interesting.
Or your smart thermostat could say, briefly make the attic too hot or cold for certain bugs, using what you already have in a smarter way.
Right, making the house itself part of the defense system.
And this tech side is growing alongside a shift in how we treat pests. The next 5 years, big push for green solutions.
More natural stuff.
Yeah, botanical pesticides, organic baits, but also tech-enhanced integrated pest management, IPM.
Okay, IPM, remind us quickly.
It's basically a strategy combining different methods, biological controls, changing the habitat, physical barriers, and using pesticides only as a last resort. Very targeted.
Gotcha.
So the intriguing bit is moving away from just like spraying chemicals broadly.
Yeah.
Instead, using data to pinpoint the exact problem spot and hitting it with something eco-friendly.
Which makes total sense because that leads right into consumer behavior, doesn't it? We
Yeah.
care more about the environment.
Hugely. Your green reputation as a pest control company, that's becoming a major selling point. People want low-toxic, non-toxic options.
For kids, pets, the planet.
All of it. You want that pest gone, but not at any cost, right? It has to align with your values now.
Yeah. And are people trying to do more themselves first? With all the gadgets out there?
Absolutely. That's another big trend. The rise of DIY smart gadgets, app-controlled traps, monitors. The report suggests maybe 40% or more of us will try the DIY route initially.
Okay, so lots of people trying it themselves.
But crucially, these DIY things are often for minor issues, bigger infestations. You'll probably still need the pros. So the industry needs to figure out how to connect with those DIYers when they hit a wall.
Makes sense. And we expect everything instantly now, don't we? Does that apply here too?
Oh, definitely. The on-demand expectation, faster responses, flexible scheduling. People are getting wary of those long, rigid contracts.
Subscription fatigue, the report called it. I like that.
Yeah. People want pest control to fit their schedule, like ordering food or a ride. More flexible, less commitment up front.
Okay, so tech, green demand, convenience. What are the rules? Are regulations pushing things too?
Big time. Regulatory pressure is ramping up. Expect tighter rules on pesticides in the next 5 years.
Like banning certain chemicals.
Exactly. The report points to California's 2023 Ecosystems Protection Act, restricting certain rodenticides as a good example. More bans, more restrictions on the really toxic stuff are likely. That changes the toolkit companies have.
And what about the technicians? The people doing the work?
Higher standards there, too. More training, certification needed, especially for these new techs and for IPM strategies.
So you'll expect your technician to know the latest methods, the digital tools.
Right. It's about competence and safety, using these powerful tools responsibly.
And climate change. How does that fit in?
It's directly linked.
Hmm.
Warmer temps mean pests spread to new areas. Think mosquitoes, ticks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you might see more local rules like mandatory mosquito control for public health and maybe even incentives for companies to go green, like using electric vans. Pest control is getting tied into broader health and environmental concerns.
So, with all this change, what's happening to the companies? Are the big guys keeping up?
They're trying. The traditional players, your Orkins, your Rentokills, which now owns Terminix, remember, they're investing heavily in digital and green tech.
So an arms race, basically.
Kind of a tech arms race, yeah. Piloting, smart monitoring, updating their apps. They know they have to modernize.
But are new companies jumping in, like tech startups?
Oh, yes. Lots of tech for startups are appearing. They might focus on a specific niche like Spot's smart insect monitors or offer totally different models.
Like the Uber for pest control idea.
Exactly. On-demand service, digital booking, no contracts. They're challenging the old ways. These agile players could really shake things up.
And are they partnering with other home services?
We're starting to see that convergence. Partnerships with security firms make sense, and integration with smart home platforms, Amazon, Google, that's definitely on the horizon.
So your pest control could just be another tile in your smart home app.
Potentially, yeah. All managed together. That seems to be the direction for this first 5-year phase.
Okay, so that's the next 5 years. If we look out further, say 10 years, 2030 to 2035, what solidifies then? Does that tech become normal?
Pretty much. That's when we see ubiquitous smart monitoring. It's not just available, it's becoming standard. 247 digital surveillance for pests in your home.
Wow, 24/7.
Yeah, and the IoT devices get cheaper, better. They can detect sounds, motion, maybe even pheromones, all connected via Wi-Fi, 5G, feeding into AI.
And the AI gets predictive.
That's the key leap, predictive analytics. Your system doesn't just say, there's a mouse. It says, conditions are right for ants in the kitchen next week.
Ooh, like a pest weather forecast.
Kind of, which leads to what the report calls exception-based service. A human only steps in when the system flags a real, verified problem or a high probability of one.
So fewer routine visits, more targeted interventions.
Exactly. And supporting that, more automation and robotics.
Robots in my house.
Small ones, yeah. Think little inspection bots or drones for crawling in tight spaces, crawl spaces, wall voids, using AI vision to spot things.
Okay, I can picture that. Less creepy than it sounds initially.
Right. And drones might deliver super targeted treatments. Automated bait stations that only dispense when needed. It's about efficiency, but also safety, less human exposure in tricky spots.
And the treatments themselves, do they get more sci-fi?
They certainly get more advanced. We're talking potentially gene-edited biocontrols, things that only target the pest species, advanced growth regulators, maybe even smart pesticides that only activate when they encounter the pest.
Smart pesticides.
Yeah. And more non-chemical stuff, too. Better pheromone lures, maybe electromagnetic devices. The report even floats pest-specific vaccinations for a home.
Vaccinating your house. Okay, that is sci-fi.
It sounds out there, but issues like bedbug resistance, they drive this kind of R&D for completely new solutions.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And what about us, the homeowners, in 2035?
Yeah.
Is green just expected by then?
Absolutely. Sustainability is mainstream. Eco-friendly isn't a bonus. It's the default expectation. Minimal risk, non-toxic.
Yeah.
Just table stakes.
So maybe certifications, like organic certified pest control.
Could be. Like we see with food. Climate-friendly pest control. It reflects that baseline expectation.
And we'll all be digital natives by then, expecting slick tech.
Completely. Seamless apps, live tracking, instant quotes, digital reports, all standard. And maybe less desire for human interaction if the tech just works.
Manage it all on your phone, maybe rarely see a technician.
That could be the preference for many, yeah.
How do the service plans change? Still stuck in annual contracts?
Probably not. Much more flexible. Maybe membership plans covering any issue. More on demand, pay as you go. Bundling with other home services might be common too. Tailored options.
Okay. And the rule makers? Still tightening the screws.
Even more so. By the early 2030s, expect more outright pesticide bans for residential use. IPM might essentially be mandated as the first line of defense.
So companies have to use less toxic methods first.
Pretty much. And keep meticulous digital records. Compliance becomes critical.
And that climate change link. Does policy catch up?
It seems likely. Regulations might require proactive pest control in high-risk areas for public health, mandatory mosquito control, maybe required termite inspections, sustainability reporting, carbon footprint. Chemical use could become standard for companies.
Wow. And the technicians need even more skills, right?
Oh, yeah. New certifications will pop up, digital pest control tech, maybe drone operator licenses. IT skills become essential. Safety standards might push robotics for certain tasks. You might even see government-backed apprenticeships focusing on tech and IPM.
The job really changes.
Completely.
What about the industry structure? All those startups from the earlier phase.
We'll likely see more consolidation by 2035. A few big national players dominate, offering these smart services. The successful startups, they either get bought up or scale massively themselves.
So fewer, bigger companies.
Probably. Using fully digital approaches like Anti-Cymex's smart system becomes more common. Competition will be fierce on tech and price.
Do new players still enter? Or is it locked down?
New entrants are still possible, even likely. Maybe big tech companies, telecoms bundling pest control into smart home packages. Retail giants like Amazon could jump in.
Amazon Pest Control. Huh.
It's plausible, so traditional firms will need partnerships to compete.
And the business models. Anything really weird.
It would see pest prevention insurance models.
Right.
Or localized subscription communities like a neighborhood chipping in for shared smart traps. Companies just renting out monitored traps. Lots of experimentation.
Okay, fascinating. Now let's push out even further. 15 years. 2035 to 2040. This feels like where things get really different.
Yeah, this is where the truly transformative stuff could kick in. Think about new homes. Pest control might be built in.
Built into the house itself.
Exactly. Pre-fitted infrastructure, embedded sensors everywhere, automated vents that manage airflow to deter pests, maybe little robotic trapdoors in the walls,
Whoa.
wall-embedded termite detectors, self-emptying insect traps, ultrasonic emitters built in. It could become standard in new builds.
So the pest control company becomes more like system maintenance.
Largely, yeah. Maintenance, software upgrades, dealing with the very rare major issue, because the house itself does most of the work.
The house has an immune system.
Basically. And the AI gets incredibly precise, predicting outbreaks with high accuracy, regionally, even block by block.
A super localized pest forecast.
Right. And then drones doing precision targeting, maybe using lasers.
Lasers.
Seriously, it's in the forecast. Laser zapping individual insects or delivering microdoses of targeted agents. Autonomous search and destroy missions within the home. Minimal need for broad chemical use.
Okay, lasers are definitely next level. What about treatments? Beyond smart pesticides.
We could see radical biotech, engineered viruses or fungi that only affect specific pests.
Wow.
Maybe even genetic engineering of wild pest populations to control them. By 2040, traditional chemical pesticides. Largely obsolete for homes, it requires deep scientific expertise.
Pest control becomes biology, not just chemistry.
Very much so.
And for us living in these homes, what's the top priority?
Health and safety. Above all else, pest control is part of the healthy home concept. Zero tolerance for pests, but also zero tolerance for risky methods. No harmful chemicals, no air quality issues, no environmental trade-offs.
Absolute safety.
Absolute and total convenience. People will want issues handled without them even thinking about it.
Like, it just happens in the background.
Exactly. Sensor detects drone treats, you get a notification. Done. Fully autonomous service that requires immense trust and transparency.
So you'd stick with brands proven to deliver that reliable, automated service.
Precisely.
What happens to DIY then, if the tech is so advanced?
It probably diminishes significantly for major problems. Professional services and built-in systems will just be far superior. DIY might stick around for tiny issues, or maybe in lower-income areas if there's a tech divide, but mostly people will be service subscribers.
Right, and regulations in 2040, even tougher.
Potentially new zero-tolerance policies for high-risk pests. Governments might mandate things like household mosquito control, stricter building codes requiring pest resistance.
Pest control as a public utility almost.
Could lean that way in some areas, yeah. Maybe city contracts for whole neighborhoods. Subsidized or mandated control in apartment buildings.
And chemicals, gone.
Hazardous ones, likely yes. Complete phase-out seems plausible for most traditional synthetics in homes. Only bio-based, precision-targeted stuff allowed. Big focus on protecting biodiversity, managing waste, carbon footprint.
And with all these sensors and data, privacy must be a huge issue.
Critical. Expect strong regulations on data from in-home devices, privacy standards, data security laws, and rules for the devices themselves, safety, interoperability. Companies will need serious tech compliance.
Okay, final stretch. The companies themselves in 2040.
Nah.
Does Terminix even look like Terminix?
It might be radically different. The report suggests industry realignment. Today's leaders might become broad home environment managers or get absorbed by huge tech firms.
So competition from robotics companies, biotech firms.
Yeah, blurring boundaries. Google or Amazon might be major players alongside evolved traditional companies. Agility and diversification will be key for survival.
Could it become like a utility managed by the city?
That's floated too. Pest control provided universally at community level, maybe via public contracts based on performance, like lowering pest populations area-wide.
Wow. And innovation just keeps accelerating.
Relentless cycle. Competitive advantage comes from adapting fastest. New pests will emerge. Competition might be about AI algorithms as much as anything else. A company like Terminix, it might function more like a tech company, heavy R&D, patents, needing top tech talent.
It really sounds like a completely different world for pest control.
It really does.
So summing it up, it's clear the way we keep our homes pest-free is heading for some massive shifts.
Yeah, towards being smarter, greener, way more convenient, and definitely more regulated.
It's a world of integrated tech, eco-conscious solutions, and services that fit that on-demand lifestyle we expect now. So thinking about all these potential changes, what's the one thing about this future of pest control that really stands out to you, maybe feels most compelling, or perhaps even a bit concerning for your own home?
That's a good question to ponder, isn't it? How these big trends might actually play out personally, affecting the choices you make for your home down the road.